Okay, down the view for Moby Dick swing continues. So just like I'm making food, gourmet food, there's a lot of ingredients, right? So golf swing, um, I'm gonna provide you the ingredients today. So the purpose of this is again how to avoid left as a right-hander, and they either hit it baby fade, baby draw, but not severely one way or the other. Okay, so I can talk about this ingredient for a long time, but I try not to, go on and on and on. Okay, so menu is, first of all, I'm gonna use not extreme strong, but strong grip. Okay, strong grip, and thumb on the right, thumb on the left, thumb on the right. The rate of closing is greater here, as you know. I already look at the grip, and then somewhat this neutral to stronger grip. Okay, I'm choosing this so that I do relatively have some power. Okay, all right. So using that, you set it up, and then Moby Dick swing. Finish the backswing in 2.5 position here. When it's parallel, shaft is parallel, arm is parallel, so here. And then when you pivot, everything else taking care of itself. That's a basic structure of Moby Dick swing. Now, so ingredient is strong grip with a thumb on the right, and then you just take your setup. Today's ingredient is 2.5 position, okay? 2.5 position, and we're gonna pivot slightly differently using ground force. Okay, we're gonna use a ground force. When you get to here, instead of pivot right away, we're gonna use, when you get to here, simply push it down and up. When you're up towards the target. Okay? So that's the formula. Okay, now watch this again. Grip with stronger grip with the thumb on the right. So 2.5 position. When you get to here, you are doing pushing down, and then when you're making a pivot, we're not doing transverse rotation. We are doing frontal, meaning this way, right? Frontal, so here 2.5, you squat, and we're doing frontal, and then when you do the frontal, when you get to P6, it turns into, automatically it turns into transverse. Nobody's gonna hit it like this. So this is a trick part about this is the vertical move or hand drop or shallowing of frontal plane rotation automatically turns into torque, horizontal torque, which is they call transverse rotation. Okay, so anyway, strong grip, thumb on the right, strong setup, 2.5, pushing down against, that remained the same, and left shoulder really pushing. That's like a archer pulling the bow really. In fact, I'll talk about, I talked about this before, but this is completely another subject, is that backswing is everything, is pretty much everything. If you're able to archer pulling that strings of bow and let go of it, I mean, just think about it. You only pulling this much versus fully stretch gives you tremendous power, right? So anyway, so what is that in the Moby Dick swing? It's simply you're pushing against this side going there. That's like an archer pulling the strings of that bow, okay? Anyway, so we'll talk about that some other time. But anyway, so pushing against it there. That's your first move. Second move, down and up and pivoting towards the target while you're doing vertical move of frontal plane rotation, and turns into, when you do frontal, now transverse automatically, and then as you do this, you're doing not internal rotating or pronation. We're doing supination, external rotate continuously to the left, not out. From here, turning to the left. So P7, P8, P9, and P10. So if you want to hit it anti-left, more finishing, externally rotated, almost like a wearing umbrella. Instead of turning over the umbrella, you just, rainy day umbrellas here. So you facing, you're pivoting like this manner and finishing in that manner. Okay? Previously, why this can be many problem for a lot of people cannot go left this way, because at the top of the backswing, they doing rotation, horizontal rotation, what they call transverse rotating. That's why they come over the top. Initial move is Ferris wheel, down like this, okay? Down like this, and then transverse, and then what they call sagittal plane, which means down and up. Okay? So, the modern day golf teachings are, you go to pivot, lateral, vertical, rotational, vertical, rotational, and vertical again. Slightly different vertical. One is what they call frontal, okay, Ferris wheel. The other one is your pelvis here, flex and extension. That's a sagittal plane, that's what they call. So you here, as you pivot, this part is extension right there. Okay, that's a vertical move. This is a vertical move. This is also a vertical move. This is called frontal plane rotation. This is called sagittal plane vertical move. Okay? Anyway, so combination one more time. Strong grip with thumb on the right. Address the ball, set up, pivot, and then you feel like sagittal plane, which is down, which is down, a vertical move, frontal plane, vertical move, to P6, and then transverse rotational torque, horizontal move. You finish it with that external rotation right there. That's the formula. I know this is bunch, but you keep practicing, repeat it. Hopefully you'll be target oriented later on swing. You get everything going. All right, have a nice day.